going?
Oh, brilliant. Never mind. That's even better.
On my first press conference.
This is officially 11.
You can tell because the tape is wrapped around a battery. That's how you know it's official. There we go.
Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? We're going to get started in a few minutes. Feel free if you want to move to here in the back. If you want to move up a little closer, you all are more than welcome to, okay?
Everyone good? Good? Want to still move? Good?
Cherry and the Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church Mass Choir.
I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Woo, come on. We give you praise. We'll praise your name together on one accord. In this temple, be lifted up. We'll lift your name. Come on, in this temple, we give you praise. In this temple, be lifted up. Come on, you're worthy. Worthy to be praised. High up above the earth. Worthy. Come on. We give you praise. On one accord. In this temple, be lifted up. We're gonna lift your name. You're worthy. Oh yeah, come on. High up above the earth. Worthy. In this temple. Oh yeah. We'll praise your name. Lift your left hand up and wave it. Lift your right hand up and wave it. Lift your left hand up and wave it. Lift your right hand up and wave it. Lift your left hand up and wave it. Lift your right hand up and wave it. Lift both hands up and wave them. Here we go, come on. No, come on up. Come on up on the stairs. On
Stay close. Right, you good? Okay, we're all right. We're ready. Oh, you hide behind me, huh? Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. Thank you for being here today. We have called this press conference to provide the media with a concrete and concise plan of response and next steps to the recent acts of terror visited upon the Lincoln Heights community by white supremacist hate groups. There are a number of Village of Lincoln Heights officials and community area leaders who have worked collaboratively to provide a comprehensive and sustainable approach to these issues. We are thankful to Hamilton County Commissioners Stephanie Dumas and Alicia Reese for pushing our demands for a formal investigation. And we are grateful that Hamilton County Prosecutor Connie Pillage has initiated the extensive investigation. We look forward to working with her and all others to bring these vile and threatening demonstrations to an end and hold the perpetrators accountable. Nevertheless, we remain concerned that arrests were not made and that citations that could have been issued were not issued. While we are also grateful that the Evendale police and officials have engaged a third-party investigator to closely examine their handling of the white supremacist neo-Nazis, we must be clear that this is only a first step in a long journey toward justice and accountability. The Evendale officials' disrespect of the Lincoln Heights community and its leaders by choosing not to include Lincoln Heights leaders and elected officials in its response or its release of the videos is absolutely unacceptable. We remain deeply concerned by Evendale officials' lack of transparency and collaborative spirit on matters that require a collective response to bring effective change. Questions and rumors and concerning video evidence and contradictory narratives abound. The Lincoln Heights community deserves answers. Evendale residents of goodwill should also want to know that their tax dollars are being used to support community well-being and shared values of equity. Consequently, we announce today that beginning Friday, February 28th, 2025, in partnership with the national boycotts of corporations that have dismantled and discontinued their diversity, equity, and inclusion commitments, we will boycott Evendale. We will put our money where our values are. We are calling all people of goodwill to stand with us and join us and not spend a dollar in Evendale until we can be assured that justice and fairness prevails. We have a moral imperative to ensure that the businesses we economically support have our safety and our well-being at heart, not only in their public discourse, but also in their actions. We have the following demands. Number one, we desire a full and transparent investigation, and I do not believe that we've received that yet. We call for all unedited Evendale body camera footage from the entire day on February the 7th to be submitted to an independent third-party investigator for thorough review that we have all had a hand in choosing and that we all trust. Number two, we want support for those affected by hate. We are calling on Evendale to provide funding for trauma-informed mental and emotional health care for all residents impacted by the neo-Nazi demonstration, young and old alike. We are also calling for community access for all. We want to create a community benefits agreement that ensures that Lincoln Heights residents who have suffered at the hands of bad decisions from Evendale for many years are granted access to the Evendale Recreation Center at the resident rate. Number three, we want a plan, a comprehensive plan, a Zone 15-wide plan for safety and accountability. We know that since this administration, the Trump administration, has taken office, that there has been an incredible increase in hate crimes and hate groups being present in our communities. And it is not going to stop. These next 4 years are going to be incredibly challenging. And the only way that people are going to be protected and that people of color and marginalized people are going to be able to be safe is if we come up with comprehensive plans to protect them. We need a Zone 15-wide plan. We've already seen white supremacist groups in Lachlan. We've seen them in Wyoming. And we've seen them in other places, in Liberty Township this past weekend. So we need to make sure that there is a Zone 15-wide plan for how we handle these circumstances to ensure that there is equity in every situation. You cannot tell me that if the tables were not turned and there was a group of African-American vigilantes who had approached this community, that we would have seen the same response. It is imperative that we deal with these issues and that we be honest about them. If African Americans from Lincoln Heights had marched into Evendale with AK-47s, touting hate speech and using all sorts of epithets, we would not be talking about the same thing. As a matter of fact, we probably would be talking about someone being killed. And so we absolutely want to make sure we don't want any violence. We don't want anybody to be hurt. We are a people of peace, but we also know that where there is no justice, there cannot be any true peace. Lastly, we want accountability for those who assisted these hate groups. We demand the immediate dismissal of any officers who aided neo-Nazis groups during this demonstration, either by termination or resignation. We don't care how you do it, but we want you gone because we know that you are not working on behalf of this community. Yes. It is not lost on us, and we will have other speakers in just a moment, but it is not lost on us that the Evendale Police Department is the police department that after Officer Stephen Roach was terminated from his position in the city of Cincinnati, it was the village of Evendale who hired him and offered him a position there to work on the police department. These types of things are unacceptable, and we will not tolerate them. It's going to be a long journey, but as I told my congregation yesterday, the push is on, and we are ready to fight for justice. Amen. Justice is not a luxury. It is a right for everyone. So we're asking that you would join us in ensuring that transparency and accountability and respect come to this community. We will now have the following speakers in this order. Number one, we will have Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey, the mayor of the village of Lincoln Heights. We will then have Brother Durance Daniels, a community activist. We'll also have Mr. Carlton Collins, another community activist who's been diligent in this fight. We will have Brother Eric Ruffin, who we know was a victim with all of us, but he in a particular way, a victim of this neo-Nazi demonstration. And then we will have Ms. Iris Rowley, the consultant to the city manager on the collaborative agreement and public safety, who will speak, and then I will return to you for a period of questions and answers, which you can direct to anyone who's here on the dais. Mayor Kinsey.
Good afternoon, everyone. As the mayor of the village of Lincoln Heights, we are truly felt that we are being disrespected by two parties. And I'm here today to talk about the village of Evendale. To contact us after you've reached out to, I guess it's 21 CP consultant, to contact me after you've chosen is truly a disrespect. We needed to be at the table when you made that decision.
Yes.
And for you to wait, actually invite me to come to your press conference today, it's not gonna happen. I just wanted to be known that the village of Lincoln Heights will be supporting the boycott. I also want to talk about the sheriff's office. In order to, to our amaze, we had to find out about their press conference on Facebook, on the news. Truly another disrespect.
Yes.
So we're here to make it loud and clear that the Village of Lincoln Heights, the elected officials, and the residents will not tolerate it. So we're going to have some other speakers come today, but I wanted to put it down that the Village of Lincoln Heights will be supporting the boycott. 100%. And before I leave my seat, we got to think about our children.
That's key.
We're talking about the things that we're demanding. We do not know how it's going to affect our children and our elders, which had to view that, and our children going on a school bus trying to get home, to do their homework, I'm going to say they were terrified that the neo-Nazis decided to come to Lincoln Heights. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And as all these other speakers are going to come speak today, you're going to find out it's not going to happen. So, as I take my stand, not my seat, just wanted to make it pretty clear, do not contact the village. No, I am not the one. We are not the one. You're not going to contact us after the fact. You're not going to contact us, say, well, because it's not the good old boys in the Village of Lincoln Heights. It's not the good old boys. I just wanted to make that clear, and I'm done.
I want to make sure that once again the folks that is doing the work are being recognized and seen and heard. All righty. I know, right? My name is Councilman Durance Daniels. I'm the spokesman for the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program, and I stand before you as a representative of Lincoln Heights and all those that believe in justice, transparency, and productivity in our community. Slap it. Get on, matter of fact, 5, get on this side for me. Thank you. Get on that side for me. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. We are gathered here today not just because of what happened in our community, but because what has happened, how our neighbors, Evendale, acted, and what that represents. A lack of transparency, accountability, and the ongoing failure to protect communities of color from organized hate. We stand here to demand answers, demand justice, and to demand action. So, on February 7th, a neo-Nazi demonstration, a terrorist organization, was allowed to take place in Lincoln Heights, and since then, we've seen little action from Evendale. Their leadership has not been held responsible or accountable to provide transparent answers about what happened that day, and that is going to end today. As Pastor Cook just mentioned, we are asking for a full, transparent investigation. All unedited video body cameras of that day from February 7th, all of them. And when we're talking about all, from 1:30, from when everything got started, all the way up until when those jokers left. We want to see everything from every individual body camera footage from every individual officer. Support those that are affected, because everybody, once again, the mayor mentioned it, but who was on the front lines that day? It was our kids who got off from high school. So we keep talking about, once again, the action that was taking place, but the people who were there first were our teenagers, that everybody seems to always want to put down who of those won't be in action. Where are the young people at? Well, they were there fighting for this, putting it on social media. And as soon as that happened, we seen where our elders showed up and right there and supported our back for everybody else. So when you talk about the intergenerational relationships that take place here in Lincoln Heights, when you talk about the connectivity that takes place here in Lincoln Heights, it was shown that day. So please, let's not forget about our young people. So we need community access for all, unacceptable for all the people in Lincoln Heights of a historical black community to be excluded from a fair and equitable access to public resources. We demand an establishment for a community benefits agreement for these grants for Lincoln Heights residents, all Lincoln Heights residents, to have access to the Evendale Recreation Center at a resident rate. So what does that mean? If I live in the Village of Lincoln Heights, I'm able to go and swim at the Evendale pool at the same rate as everybody else. If I live in the Village of Lincoln Heights, I'm able to go get a workout at their workout facility at the same rate as everybody else in Evendale. If you're able to send your terrorists over here to come terrorize us, we're able to come get some mental and physical health done as well too. Number 3, community access for, number 4, a plan for a safety and accountability plan. And once again, Pastor Cook spoke upon that. Evendale officials must work with the community to develop a Zone 15 plan, a wide plan to address hate groups, domestic terrorism. We need clarity, transparency, and a consistent enforcement of hate crime laws. We're going to get a little bit more into Saturday, but once again, it is baffling to me that a Nazi can go on camera and tell you what he's done, has shown you what he's done, and then our law enforcement looks around and says, well, I don't know what we can do. So once again, it's not just about who are we protecting, but from an American standpoint, who are we defending as Americans right now? Nazi terrorists or American citizens? And lastly, as we said, accountability for those who assisted those. If you're on the taxpayer dime and you feel that it is necessary for you to go and get into a Nazi vehicle, drive them around, have a Nazi get in your vehicle and drive him around, and then tell him and give him the legal assistance to fill out a police report on the Lincoln Heights taxpayers' dime. Once again, those individuals not only need to have their accountability called to the forefront, but I want to know why they felt that was necessary and how these are the same individuals that win Cop of the Year in Evendale. On a brighter note, I do want to get about the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program. There's been a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misnomers. Even I believe our sheriff at one point called them a vigilante group, which is so not true. So not true. Let me be clear. This is a fight not about what's happening in Evendale. Sorry. I did want to make one more point. Until our demands are met, we are calling for the immediate boycott of Evendale and all business of Evendale. We've stated that, but I want to make sure I'm very clear on what that means. We will not spend a single dollar in that community, and that when we refuse to stand against any hate starting now, and we commit to the economic action to ensuring our dollars reflect those values. It is both disgraceful and reprehensible to witness the blatant deceit, selfish ambition, and treacherous conduct of a so-called leader who has proven nothing more to be corrupt, manipulative, and an obstructive figurehead. This individual has deliberately and maliciously sought to hinder the progress of Lincoln Heights, wielding incomplete notions and the deceptions of their tools. Pretty much what I'm saying is that the mayor Fine has been trying to shut down Lincoln Heights for a very, very long time. And at this point, you continue to do it, and you continue to show these actions of it. So as a council member, as an individual, I'm calling you to the forefront as well, Mayor Fine. The fact that you chose to go on vacation in this moment in time is utterly ridiculous. So we have generations from the gun range. You have generations that have dealt with trauma of the fact that Lincoln Heights, for some reason, when it comes to you as a state senator, that Evendale gets certain grants and certain benefits of grants, that pools are being built up, but all of a sudden we just get floors and things are celebrated. We want all those things to be held to the forefront as well, too. So once again, as the spokesperson for the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program, we would like to know from the mayor of Evendale your accountability stance and your forefront stance on how you feel about the progress of the village of Lincoln Heights as well, too, and about these accountabilities that we talk about from a community benefits agreement standpoint. That's fine, thank you. Got a little emotional there because I was really starting thinking about what him and my grandfather been through, man, so I'm sorry, I just lost my thought there a little bit. So I'll wrap it up on this. On 2:30 Sunday morning, the Lincoln Heights, no, please, pass them out to everybody, please, Johnny, as well, too. On 2:30 on Sunday morning, the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program demonstrated why community diligence is important. Working within the law and in collaboration with local law enforcement, Lincoln Heights stopped an individual attempting to steal and burn a flag of peace. Acting clearly intended to incite division, the same individual was also cited for littering hate propaganda across Lincoln Heights, Lockland, and Wyoming. Because this swift and coordinated response from our community members and the situation was handled legally, peacefully, and effectively, we will not allow the hate route to take here. The individual actions may consist several crime offenses under the Ohio Revised Code, and I'll go under these. The first one, but he was not cited for, was theft. Ohio Revised Code 2913.02, removing property without consent. Once again, we have him on camera saying, I'm going to steal your flag and burn it, but he was not cited for theft. Littering, he was cited for. Ohio Revised Code 3767.32. Tampering with traffic control devices, Ohio Revised Code 451117. Littering from a motor vehicle, ethnic intimidation, Ohio Revised Code 2927.12, committing a crime motivated by race, color, religion, or national origin, and then falsifying, knowing, lying to law enforcement, Ohio Revised Code 292.113. We are grateful, I am grateful to the Lincoln Heights SAW program, the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program. All those who remain committed to ensuring Lincoln Heights remains safe, protected, and free from hate. This is what true community looks like. This is what true community looks like. When your police department and when services within your community, when your government fails you, the residents of Lincoln Heights stood up legally. They stood up on that bridge. They're standing up now, even in the midst of all the waves that are coming through. But the same thing that Mayor Finan tried to stop that progress of hate and wave with the daggone umbrella. This is a typhoon, a tsunami coming through. But once again, I'm just extremely proud of these people. This is what community looks like. And if you have any questions when it comes to the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program, please send them all to me. My name is Durance Daniels. I will provide you my contact information. This is not a vigilante group. These are residents who are legally and lawfully protecting their community. If you are a grandmother, these are their grandkids. If you're an auntie, these are their nephews. If you are a father, these are your sons. If you're a coach, these are their kids. This is not a vigilante group. This is a response to what is needed, because what we lack right now. But what we lack, we gain in all of this. So the organization that is taking place, the things that are needed within the village of Lincoln Heights, they're happening right now. If you don't see it, if you don't feel it, I feel sorry for you. If you think you can stop it, I feel extremely sorry for you. Because the main thing that is going to take place is what the village of Lincoln Heights is a community that was built for the black man, by the black man, and is going to once be restored by the black people within the community. Thank you, I love you, and I promise we'll get through this.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Carlton Collins. I'm with the Heights Movement. I've been in this church since birth. And I want to cordially invite the entire city, the entire region, the United States, and the globe to meet the most resilient black people in America. That's what Lincoln Heights produces. The most resilient people in America. Who else do you know who lived next to a gun range for 78 years? $50,000 gunshots a year. They shoot 300 days, 6 days a week, 7+ hours a day, 78 years. Where is there another case of intergenerational trauma such as this? And they have the nerve to think that when they set foot on that bridge, they were going to strike fear in our hearts. Ha! Ha ha. It's impossible. We're not built like that. We've always been a community that stood for each other, and we always will be. That's not going to change. One, I want to echo the sentiments of the boycott. We are not going to spend $1 in Evendale. But I'm also going to echo the sentiments that everything that we're doing with Evendale right now must stop. We can't have any negotiations with them. We have leverage in this moment that we haven't had in a generation. And we have to make sure we leverage that in the right way. I know Mayor Finan has consistently called for this JED, but that JED needs to happen with transparency, with the full community input on what is going into that agreement. And most importantly, we have to operate from the understanding that Evendale, just like the city of Cincinnati and just like the federal government, are in arrears to Lincoln Heights for that gun range. They're in arrears. We have negotiations that have to take place. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the political spectrum in order for us to do that. But I want to bring something else back into focus. When I got back to the community, it was to run the after-school program and summer camp at Lincoln Heights Elementary. One of those mothers came up to me. She lives in the Centennials. She told me that her fourth grader woke her up at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "Mommy, there's a masked man outside." She runs into her other son's room. He's a 14-year-old. He's not there. She goes and grabs the weapon to go confront the man. It's the 14-year-old. He had 5 knives strapped to his body. And said he had to defend his family. Is that what we want? Is that the type of humans we're going to be? Do we need this level of inhumanity? There's an opportunity here for us to get this right. There's an opportunity for the entire country, for them to see and understand that, one, the Trump Justice Department is going to defend the law, but two, humanity, morals, values, beliefs, character, ethics, all of them matter. It's not really about skin color. It's the haves and the have-nots. And they were told that they could blame us. And we have facts to prove that you need to blame yourself because you've done nothing but harm Lincoln Heights. But we've endured, and that is our story. And our resilience will not be shaken because, in case you did not know, there were once 32 churches in Lincoln Heights. We believe in some God. And in this battle of spiritual warfare, he is going to stand with us in this process. I got 2 more things. One, Lincoln Heights is the definition of a community. We truly do not know anything else. So our spirits will not be broken. The opportunities will flow from this. We just have to be ready and prepared. That's why today we are announcing that Lincoln Heights is going to have its own social network. It's called My City Connected. It is going to be a platform for us to gather, organize, get on the same page, strategize, and for us to build a model that we could replicate everywhere across this country, to teach everyone how to do what we have always been taught to do. The difference between Lincoln Heights and everywhere else, stories of greatness were our bedtime stories. We know what's in this soil. We know that they touched holy land, which is why they cannot prosper. Anybody who wants to get involved, please go to theheightsmovement.org, click Get Involved, fill out that form. We're going to start bringing people onto the platform here within the next week. But there's an opportunity here for us to rebuild the first black city. And I am convinced, and I know because my God said so, that we will do it. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Iris Rowley. I don't have a long speech, quotes, and or scriptures. What I came to say today to my family and friends in the beautiful village of Lincoln Heights is that we all, those of us who are free in the city of Cincinnati, have a clear view of what occurred. It was so clear that I sent my husband to the bridge. What I came to let my family and friends know, because my family owned a thrift store on Anthony Wayne, so we are all connected. What I came to let my family and friends know in the beautiful village of Lincoln Heights is that I come with a history, we come with a history of actions, protection, and support with the deepest of commitments to my people. We free black people in the city of Cincinnati aren't afraid to stand. You know, we called a boycott on the city of Cincinnati. We're not afraid to stand with the beautiful leaders, the courageous people in the city of Lincoln, the village of Lincoln Heights. We will help them protect this village. And to the courageous people who took on the white hate. Hate came here. Hate came here with actions and language of niggers to children and the adults and to our seniors. Why there were no arrests, I don't know. It is beyond me why there was no notification from Evendale to the leaders of this beautiful village to prepare to protect the children and the elders. That is unacceptable.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Not only did they come with hateful speech, they came with guns.
That's right.
I believe each and every one of them, those we saw and those we didn't see, were very loaded. It is the beautiful, courageous people of the village of Lincoln Heights that came with the spirit of protection that allowed for no one to get hurt. It wasn't the police, and they are trained in de-escalation. So I want to congratulate the beautiful brothers and sisters who took to the bridge, sisters who took to the bridge. Sisters who took to the bridge. We saw y'all. I want to congratulate them for standing up, because at some point, if the people that you pay to protect and serve you do not, you must do it yourselves.
That's right.
We are taxpayers. First, that makes us the boss. So to not be at the table, to not be at the table, to not be at the table is unforgivable and unacceptable. To use such language in earshot of our children, it is now on the adults to handle the adults, not on the children. So please don't ask our children what they would do. Allow the adults to do what they need to do.
That's right. That's right.
Who is at fault? You should be asking yourself. Stop looking at the people behind me saying, what are they doing? It was and is a response to hate, to terror, to intimidation, from a history of people that we know will kill, maim, and destroy. It's unacceptable. We now stand with the people in this beautiful black village. We demand the same changes. We stand behind their changes, and we will work with them to get the changes for the beautiful people in Lincoln Heights. My last comment to those who are in control, those who are trained and paid to do a job. Please do not create opportunity for someone to get hurt further.
That's right.
Do not create that atmosphere of allowing individuals who come with hateful language and who cross the line to continue to get away with it. It is your job to arrest and protect the people of the beautiful village of Lincoln Heights. And that is from all. And I say this message not to just Evendale. I say it to the sheriff department as well.
That's right.
No one in this region is safe from the hate. Ohio has the largest amount of hate groups than southern states. We need protection too. We pay for it. We need a return on our investment. It is called our tax dollar. Don't just call me an activist, call me a tax-paying activist, because I deserve a reciprocity on my tax dollars. Again, we stand with the beautiful, courageous Black people in this village of Lincoln Heights. We got your backs, your cousins just south of you. We are here.
Good afternoon. I can't get to it. So, my name is Eric Ruffin. I was on the bridge when these individuals came up yelling at my window. And, you know, I keep thinking, so my company's been in business for 25 years. It was birthed in the village of Lincoln Heights at my house. I have interviewed people, trained people, hired people from my living room. This year we will hit our $100 million. And the reason I'm telling you that is not for you to look at me, but for you to understand that none of my trucks will be in Evendale. We're there every day. We buy gas, we buy parts, we buy materials. Able Building System stands against Nazis and racism and hate. My company will not be there, and I'm forming a group of all the other companies that's over there so that we all will come together and help you to understand. You're about to find out.
That's right.
I have worked years and years and years to separate myself so that I could be respected and have dignity and have my clients come to my office, that I look at that bridge every single day out of my office, and instead of people calling me and supporting me, my customers are calling me saying, oh, we're afraid to do business with you because you're in Lincoln Heights. That's the wrong attitude. You should be coming to me saying, what can we do for you? Because you were attacked. But I'm getting questions about, it's the law. It's the law. You wasn't saying nothing about it being the law when you didn't want the little boys to play with the little girls. You said, great, do it. You don't say nothing about the law when it fits you. But because I'm alone in this, in my business over there, sitting over there, looking at that bridge every single day, with one of my daughters, one of my employees, one of my customers, somebody who puts tax dollars back into the village of Lincoln Heights is not coming. I'm here to tell you, if you are my customer, follow me. Able Building System stands against racism. We will not buy in Evendale. If you know me, you know me. If you know me, you knew my father. If you know me, you know my sister. If you know me, you know what I stand for. And I am embarrassed to be your friend. I'm embarrassed to be your customer. I'm embarrassed to be your client. This is not right. Your little white child could be standing at a stop sign and a masked man come up to them with guns and call them names. This is not about the N-word. That's not what it is. This is about our families. This is about our kids. This is about our future. This is about making other people responsible for all of us. We are a bigger community than just Lincoln Heights. We're supposed to be one race. We're supposed to be together. And I'm standing here not doing business, losing business, because somebody called me a nigga. Oh, I'm sorry. On the bridge on my way to my office that I got to look at every single day. It ain't right. It's not right. And I need somebody to come with me on this. We need some other people standing up here. They with me. We're together. But we need somebody who really understands the value of dignity and respect and honor and decency to help fight this community that I lived in for 10 years, that I coached at. The kids been in my house. They done swim in my swimming pool. These kids are calling me from Evendale saying, Mr. Ruffin, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Even though you don't want your kids to see you doing this either.
Stand up. Stand with us.
So please, I implore you to please stand up. Please understand that we need to be involved. We need to be a part of this. We don't need you telling us the results. We need you letting us help you to find a solution. God bless you.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna take it off then, I guess. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
So that you won't, because they've got a news mic on here, so don't touch it. Just bring it real low. There we go. You got it.
My call is not about the Nazis. I believe that God sent them here for us to unify, for America to see greatness in Lincoln Heights and help us rebuild our community. My call is for my community. It is now time for us to unite. It is now time for us to rebuild, to be reborn, to renew. And God said, with him, all things can be made new. So I'm just saying to even anybody that's listening, you don't have to hate. Somebody told you that. Somebody told you that. So think for yourself. Know that love reigns in all colors. And God did not create a color. He created a human race. So if we take away color, hate will probably leave as well. So I just want to employ to the people to look deep inside of you and think for yourself. Thank God for this moment. Even through the hard times, y'all, God didn't say it was going to be easy. We're going to fight through this, and we're going to see the victory on the other side because God has already spoken. We are already victorious in this. So let us not worry about what the Nazis are doing because they keep coming back because somebody told them they hate us. We've not done anything. However, our children need us to show them that to unite means to be strong. So that's what we need in this community, to show our children that together we stand. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautifully done. Beautiful. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. We will move to questions and a period of question and answer, but I want to just remind you that what are the next steps? What are we asking you to do? Number one, we are continuing to put the pressure on Evendale and the Hamilton County Sheriff. We need you to put the pressure on them by calling those offices. Call those offices. Many of you are residents of Hamilton County. You need to be calling. Somebody said the magic number is 5 times a week, and I believe that that's right. You need to be calling 5 times a week, once a day. That's right. That's right. It's the number of grace. We want you to call 5 times a week to make sure Hamilton County, your elected officials, if you live in Evendale, you need to be calling your mayor. And you need to be calling your elected officials to ask them. You should want to make sure that your tax dollars are not going to this foolishness. So we want to make sure. Yes, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question today.
We're missing our house rep.
So we need to be calling. You get my point today. We need you to be calling, number one. And then second of all, because I want to be clear on what we're leaving here with, we also want to make sure that you are supporting the boycott. There is power in our dollars. Yes. Let me say that one more time. There is power in our dollars. You should not buy where you are not appreciated. And you should not buy where you cannot work. So we're not going to continue to spend our money, shovel our money over to Evendale. We will find other ways and other places to put our dollars where we are appreciated, okay? And we will provide you lists. I know Brother Durance has been working on a list, and we will have that in the coming days, a list of businesses in the area that we know have committed to working with us. I want to thank our partners who are here from Wyoming, because I want you to know there's some people here with us. I want to thank Wyoming Community in Action for being here with us, Sister Michelle Larkin, a representative, and I want to thank so many others. We got Cincinnati represented, Woodlawn represented, Urban League represented, just so many others. Forest Park, where she's down there, Forest Park represented. So we want to celebrate all those voices. That's what it's going to take to get this important work done. I also wanted you to see this because you saw us holding these up, but I want to read this to you so that you'll know that we're not making this up. And this is not just one event. We have seen the consistent presence of hate groups in this area since February the 7th, and you need to know about that. These were left here early, Sunday morning. These were left here. Listen to this. This is very clear. There should be no question from the Hamilton County Sheriff that this is a hate crime. Support Black history, white kids, and turn in your local drug dealers from the, and of course it's a black person behind prison bars. And this, of course, was produced and then disseminated by the Trinity White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. What clearer indication do you need that this is a hate crime? These are terror groups. The Southern Poverty Law Center says that this is one of the most rapidly growing domestic terror threats in our nation. White supremacist groups. This is nothing to be played with. I was in Buffalo when that shooter came in, fed on a diet of white hatred, came into that store and shot and killed 10 innocent people on a Saturday morning as they did their shopping for the week. This is serious business, and there was no indication to us what could have happened when neo-Nazis show up on the bridge with high-powered assault rifles. This is not to be played with. And so we want to take your questions, but please, just shoot your questions and we will get the person who needs to speak here.
So from the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program, they have been doing a great job in documenting multiple license plates. So I'll put it at that front. And making sure that not only do they share that with law enforcement, but make sure we keep our documentation as well too. So it's been multiple states. I'll mention Tennessee, Kentucky, for instance, Indiana. But the concentration that Indiana, but definitely Tennessee, Kentucky, kind of the concentration of where we're seeing influx. And like you said before, not just last night, we've been seeing situations of where they've been coming just back into the community, just like they're scouting out and things of that nature. And we're continuing to keep letting law enforcement know about these situations.
And we also want to remind. No, play them right here. We also want to remind you again that this is not just an attack. It started here in the black community, so we want to acknowledge that. We're not ashamed to admit that. But this extends to minorities and marginalized people of any kind. Look at this one that says report. So we need everybody involved if you care about this issue, because it may be here in Lincoln Heights today, but it's coming to your door next. Absolutely. And so one of the things that we see, pamphlet right here, report all immigrants immediately to ICE.
When you talk about, like I said, so even on the incident that took place Sunday, it wasn't just Lincoln Heights. They rolled through Laughlin and Wyoming as well too. So as Pastor Cook mentioned, this is a Hamilton County issue, but this is an American issue.
This is white supremacy.
This is an American issue. So once again, choose what side of history you're going to be on. Are you on the side of Nazis and hate, or are you on the side of being an American? Sure.
This is evident.
Oh, absolutely. Ku Klux Klan. They're having their 160th year anniversary, y'all, if you didn't know. It's from 1865 to 2025. The Trinity White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan will be celebrating the 160th anniversary of the Ku Klux Klan, calling all like-minded individuals, white Protestant Americans, come and join us Saturday, May 17th, at the Daniel Boone National Forest, located in the Appalachian foothills of eastern Kentucky. So if you want to go and celebrate them, you're more than welcome. But if you want to boycott Evendale and show that this is not important, this is not acceptable. Like, I understand what Pastor Cook is trying to do right now, but just think about what they want to do. They feel like they have the opportunity and the platform to organize what they want to do. That's fine. That's fine. You have your American right to organize any type of bigotry and hate that you want to. But we as Americans have the opportunity to show where our dollars are going to go. Yeah. So continue to keep proving where you want to be upon. If you want to go, it is Saturday, May 17th. If you're going to shop at Walmart right now, make sure on Saturday, May 10th, you take your butt down the Appalachian foothills of Kentucky as well, too. Make sure you do both. Make sure you do both.
Well, and you may have an American right to do that, but you certainly don't have a right to show up in our communities and try to threaten and intimidate us. That is not your right. And so we want to be very clear on that.
Find out if you do, though.
And then I want to also make sure that if people are looking for, if you want to know where these people are, because we've heard it said, right? Where are these people? We don't know who they are. We don't know what their identities are. They made it very plain to you where they are. That's where you should go. Start investigating right there. Any questions? Any more questions? Sure.
That's former Mayor Jennifer Gray, by the way.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Gray, and I was the mayor, former mayor of Lincoln Heights, and city official from 85 to 93. Back in the 60s, now I was young myself and I was traumatized, but I lived here in Lincoln Heights just about all my life. In fact, all my life. Back in the 60s, this is not the first time that the Klansmen came to Lincoln Heights and burned a cross on the school grounds. Only problem is it was on a weekend, like they're doing now. Back then, Lincoln Heights was together. We didn't have phones. Everybody didn't have a telephone. Everybody didn't have air conditioners. But we had the love to knock on that door and say, hey, Lewis, which was my father, let's go. They're down there burning, a cross on the school ground. We were a city then, population over 6,000 people. It was about 1,000 men because the women really didn't get involved. Thank you, sister, for getting involved. The women really didn't get involved, but the men came out with shotguns and guns. So we're not afraid of these guns because we know that we're protected. So don't be afraid of guns because I was born up with guns. And most men back then had guns. So I just wanted to say this is not the first time, but they didn't come back, 60-something years later? They didn't come back because after they looked out there and saw all those guns, it was Perky Scott, the Grand Wizard of Ku Klux Klan, off of 71 who had the Confederate flag over his barn. Every time you drove up and down 71, you could see it. It was about 6 to 10 people there, plus his daughter. But once they saw how many people gathered at that police station, and they were arrested and had to be sneaked out by Reading Police Department because the men here didn't play. So I just want you to know this is not the first time, but I hope with what's going on, it'll be the last.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Gray.
Obviously, we had a lot of people speak today, so I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So the biggest points, some of them being that, you all are not satisfied with Evendale choosing its own consultant for that third-party investigation. You would like to work collaboratively with them to maybe find a new one?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we should have been at the table when they made that decision. And if they need to find another one, we can do that too. But to not be able to be a part of that conversation, that was truly a disrespect, and it's unacceptable.
Okay, so at this point, now that they've chosen one, you all are not satisfied with that, so are you asking them to choose a new one or not?
Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah, we're demanding. We're not ask. We don't ask anymore. We demand. Something else?
Again, a lot of people were talking, so I want to make sure we're on the same page. Calling for the officers who assisted the people part of that Nazi group to either be fired or step down, resign. Are you also calling for that?
Yes, absolutely. Why would I not? We're united. Oh, well, it's coming out my mouth.
Stand on it all.
And now my question is for Durance here. I know that you said, you didn't like how the Hamilton County Sheriff had described the group that is protecting the
Yes.
village. So the Lincoln Heights, the
Safety and Watch program. So it's LHSAW if you need a acronym, but yeah, Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch.
So in our previous reports, and forgive me if this was wrong, we had called them the Lincoln Heights Protectors. Is that the same thing? Is that different?
So that was what they were being called. The formal name is the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch.
Okay, and with the Safety and Watch group, obviously this is a really difficult issue. You guys are all working through it, something that's been
That's
What's-
an Evendale question.
To that point, right? Let's it's not, but let's talk hypotheticals and what this really means. And to Ms. Saritha's point, you created an opportunity for the residents to organize and really look at themselves and what their place is in their community. If I'm an individual who every day is on the corner seeing my role because my law and safety police department isn't doing the role, then maybe I see myself now in that role, right? So what does that mean? Lincoln Heights is paying $1 million for Hamilton County Sheriff's Services, right? We've already reached the threshold. As a council member, I've already brought that budget to our council members that we can bring our own police department back. So are we now talking about a situation where these individuals who are already volunteering their lives, volunteering their families' lives, volunteering their kids and the sacrifice of being for them, maybe there's an opportunity where we're now talking about they're now our new police department and bringing our police department back. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, yep.
Do you still have a question, sir?
There are, so his question were, are there any pictures of the travelers? So you have the ones that are public are obviously the individuals that law enforcement has had, right? I will say that our team, the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch team, is incredibly trained, and they have great tactics. So anything that is needed from a sense of security standpoint has been documented and shared. So from a federal bureau standpoint, we have reached out, and once again, all I can say is that there have been a flux of budget cuts and people getting fired from the federal standpoint when it comes to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So the Civil Rights Division is closed right now as well too. So, you know, we don't want to make this about President Trump at all and his administration, because once again, this is about Lincoln Heights, and he gets enough, you know, publicity about the buffoonery that he's doing already. But there is, Governor DeWine can definitely do something, and then you also spoke about Warren Davidson as well too. So we talk about our local officials, and those are things that we've mentioned as well too from a call of action. Not just boycotting Evendale, but our job. And that was what we'll do from the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program. And that's what we'll do from the Heights movement standpoint, is making sure that we engage our residents in the process of reaching out to our local not our local law enforcement, but our local elected officials, and mentioning that aspect of it. Because from a federal standpoint, where the dollars come from, they're gonna make those excuses. But we can still do the footwork and the foundational work now, thinking in the chessboard 5 to 10 years from now, how things could be set up in the next presidential election. And hopefully that these consequences can be put to the forefront if we set that case and that foundation now. Switch sides, you the DJ.
Yes. I got it. Yeah. Yes, there's been individuals that have been identified, but that was through the help of the general public. There's nothing that has come back to us from any of the law enforcement agencies about any of these men. We've literally been able to push it out, and there's been a number of people just looking into who they were. Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Friday? You talking about Friday, right?
Right.
Oh, so you go ahead and talk about Friday. He didn't got all this.
Exactly. Absolutely, and they seem very familiar with each other, did they not?
If you watch
Indeed.
watch his whole take.
So I think one of the big things that we're asking for, as we're talking about transparency, as we're talking about this investigation, we need to see all communication that took place. That's why we're asking for the unedited video of the entire day. So we can see everything that happened, and anyone who has their camera off for any extended period of time while they were engaging with these Nazis, They should be fired, at minimum suspended. Put them on a desk and stop allowing them to be in the general public pretending that they're doing their jobs for public safety, because that's not what's happening.
Also, to the media in the room, it is your duty to report accurate facts. This is the only way the larger and broader community will understand and know why people are standing up and pushing back. This time out for showing little cuts and blurbs. Show the entire story. You're absolutely correct, ma'am. But there have been many, many pictures of these individuals all over social media. It is your job to report this accurately. So while we're demanding things from other institutions, we demand from you, the media, to report this accurately.
And one of the things to report accurately, we want to be very clear on that, is we need the media to make sure that you are emphasizing, right? Because there's been all of this sort of scrutiny of the security team, all of this sort of scrutiny and misrepresentation of the security team. The question needs to be, why do tax-paying citizens whose hard-working money goes to the support of a law enforcement department, why do they need to feel, right, that they have to protect their community themselves so extensively? That's what needs to be emphasized. These individuals are law-abiding. Ohio is an open carry state. They have not violated any law in what they are doing. And so it is important that we emphasize that. And so this language about them as vigilantes and this depiction, no. They have been critical to the support of this community. Now, we may disagree at various points on how we do that. But what cannot be scrutinized, what cannot be misconstrued, is that these individuals have played a critical role in the protection of this community. This gentleman on Sunday morning would not have been found out if it had not been for the security team. Absolutely. And it was only, so let's just be clear, it was only when the security team was pulled and began to take a step back that we saw more violent acts and more visits like these. Right. So you ask the question, is it important? Well, it seems to me that it would be. Yes, and we need that portrayed.
You will see, once again, because everybody that supported that situation as well, too, they'll be in full uniform and things of that nature, so it'll be very easy to identify who the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program as well, too. We'll also be having residents, if you want flyers, thank you. If you want flyers, billboards, and yard signs as well, too, because this is a community piece as well, too, so everybody knows it for the long haul, but they will be in full uniform from head to toe, fully protected, so you will definitely be able to identify who the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program is.
Okay, so I did want to mention when former Councilmember Daniels mentioned about how much it was costing the village of Lincoln Heights, $1 million. And $1 million, that's a lot of money for a small community. And when we think about how many policing, it dawned on me, it's okay that y'all giving us extra policing, but are you guys gonna bill us? We do not want to get billed for it. We need a reduction. So I just wanted to put that out there, how much it costs. It's costing the village of Lincoln Heights, and every year it's going up. And we're a small community, so we're looking for it not to get billed additional because you're taking it upon yourself to give us a few extra.
Two more questions, and then we'll head out, brother. Oh. And we know that there are good people in Evendale who we need to stand with us. You should be concerned about this. If you're a person of goodwill in Evendale, you ought to be concerned and pressuring your community and your officials to respond appropriately, right? Who call somebody, Sarita? Okay, brother. Yeah. And then what was it? Day 15. Yeah. We all do. We all do. That's why we're here. Right, go back and look at the tape.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
We got you. Mass meeting. That's the mass meeting.
So we have a mass meeting plan, as you can see behind us, on the 27th. And we also want to say, right, we're going to have that meeting. We're going to talk about everything that needs to be discussed, that we discussed here at the press conference. But I also want to mention that in terms of mental health resources, for those people that are struggling, we have funders who have supported us in helping any and everyone, particularly our children, get access to psychologists, psychiatrists, the mental health supports that they need. So anybody who is struggling, right? This is for our educators. This is for, the youth that had to experience it getting off the bus. This is for our parents that are dealing with the trauma that is coming out of their children. And most importantly, it's going to start here in Lincoln Heights, but Princeton has been Princeton for a long time, right? It impacts all communities within the Princeton school district. And we're across, 2 counties, 9 municipalities, 2 townships. We're the most diverse district in this area of the city, of the state, excuse me. So we have a responsibility to extend those opportunities to the entire community and establish a continuum of care around them. We have not done this work in all the years of that gun range being there either. So this is an opportunity for us to start, as a Princeton community, to start moving towards healing.
And to that point, to that earlier point, this is what this is about putting the pressure on, because we have had some time commitments. This is why we want to keep the story where it is. That's why we're here today. We want to keep the pressure on, keep this story in the media to make sure we get a response from the Hamilton County Sheriff and prosecutor. Absolutely. Who? Yeah. Who do you represent?
Larger community.
Okay.
I'm representing the Forest Park City Council as an alumnus of that group. I'm representing the Whitten Woods Board of Education as an alumnus of that group. I'm also a spokesman for, because I'm currently an executive officer of, the Forest Park Historical Society. I must say, Nazi hate mongering by armed white men waving swastika flags and shouting black person slurs on the Lincoln Heights doorstep is criminal conduct.
Yes, absolutely.
It deserves arrest and prosecution to the fullest extent of the law.
There we go.
As Cecil Thomas has been quoted as saying, in one of the better media outlets in our community, the Cincinnati Herald, whose editor-in-chief sits in front of me. So you know, I have one request. If you'd be so kind, would you include me at the table when you plan your future? I have to identify one other Cincinnati Forest Park person in the audience, Chelsea Clark.
Bring him up here, Brother Duras. That's right. If we're going to deal with this, we're going to need an inclusive approach. Come stand with us. And so, for you who are at home wondering, what can I do? That's what we need you to do. That's what we need you to do. To get inspired, to get involved. Come on, that's what we need you to do. Don't just sit there. Don't buy in Evendale. Come on. Don't buy in Evendale until we get answers. We are pressing, again, because I want to keep these points before us. We are pressing the Hamilton County Sheriff. Brother Bill reminded us just a minute ago that it is important. We need to press the Hamilton County Sheriff. You have had 15 days, and we understand how investigations work, but we want some answers, and we're not going to continue to wait without putting the pressure on. The pressure is on, the push is on, and we will make sure that we need all of you. Please remember, if you're at home, if you could take a moment while you're at your office on your lunch break, call your elected officials. Tell them your concern and ask them, I want an official stance, a statement, a position statement from you on what happened in the Lincoln Heights community. That's how you call people to the carpet. That's how we hold systems and structures accountable. Thank you all so much for being here, and you'll hear more from us in the coming days. We certainly appreciate that. You good? Okay. Thank you. Great. Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
This is a move.
Well done.
All right, my friend. All right. Yes, it was live stream as well. Yes, so that we have our own.
I came back to say yes because I asked him and he nodded. He knew your eye wink like. Yes. I was like, y'all got a whole system. I saw him like, we got it. We got it. We got it. Thank you for your That's my job. Okay, all right. That's my job.
God, I'm so filled up right now.
Princeton class of 72.